being modern doesn't mean anything. You know, I think, of course, if you can change with the times, great. But I do feel that when you're timeless, you have a touch and feel of the old world and the new world.
आज फिर उस मोड़ पे तुम्हें मुझे देख के तन्हा बहुत उदास हुए फूल बेचने वाले because she really loves flowers.
I can't even say that.
Yeah.
I know the ball is in my court.
Yeah.
It's the time of the year when all that you crave are breezy romances while gorging on a tub of ice cream. And also, if you're a fan of Mumbai, then modern Love Mumbai is here. And I have the cast of I Love Thane and the director of the episode. So guys, I'll start by asking you guys to give us a brief about the episode. What is it all about?
Oh,
Director साहब.
अरे यार.
Yeah, this one's yours.
Yeah. I can't even say that.
Yeah.
I know the ball is in my court.
Yeah.
It's about a girl, you know, who's looking for love, and that's the episode. And then what happens?
And we were just discussing this. Why is it based in Thane? I mean, Mumbai and Thane doesn't go in the same plate.
मतलब ठीक है. In cultural context तो similar ही है.
Correct.
Yes.
In fact, my flip question to everyone who will ask me this is why not Thane?
Oh.
You know, because why not Thane?
हाँ, modern love है तो new
Yeah.
तो बोल ही सकते हैं.
And it's also great that Dhruv thought of the fact that people have seen Bombay
Yeah.
in cinema, in television series, so on and so forth. How do you show a new perspective to Bombay? Look at it from Thane's perspective, and it's beautiful.
Interesting. And before I go ahead, Dhruv, I want to ask you, why are you not acting in this episode?
Oh, thank God I'm not acting.
It is a good question. When I read the script, I wanted to know the same thing. Why isn't he doing it himself?
No, thank God I'm not acting because you know you want to see the script for what it is. Again, you know, you don't want to. It's weird, you know. You're writing, you're sitting on the edit, you're directing. I would have lost a sense of perspective, you know, and I would have not been able to do the kind of things that he's done. You know, you really want to just take a step back and see what happens. So glad.
And Masaba, you tell us, we thought Masaba was just a one-off thing. Now you're like a full-fledged actor.
Yeah, man. I mean, I honestly didn't think that something like this would come my way, where I could actually be, you know, the story is about me and everyone that I meet and everyone I interact with. But I also feel like, you know, as they say, I tasted blood on the sets of Masaba because I just said, wow, that's fun. And, you know, that's exciting, that's different, it's kind of cool. And yeah, I just think I enjoyed way too much, and I enjoy it maybe as much as I do running my business. So I think that it's fun.
Rithvik, from what we get to know, you play the timeless man in the episode.
I'm a timeless
That's
man.
a new one.
Yeah.
Huh?
But
nice.
tell
I play the
us,
timeless man in life.
but what is a modern man for you that Saiba is looking for? I mean, how would you describe a modern man?
That Saiba's looking for. I don't know, not only from Saiba's perspective, I think Masaba would give you a clearer answer, but I think a modern man for me is a person who is more aware than anything else. And by awareness, I don't mean like he's had some spiritual awakening. By awareness, I mean is that he's more perceptive, he's more sensitive, and he's more awake in the moments than only in the larger pictures. I think that's the modern man.
And the timeless man?
The timeless man is a man who has no time and his manager's right behind him all the time. That's a timeless man.
Masaba, for you, I mean, a modern man or a timeless man, what is the ideal man for a girl in today's time?
I think a timeless man, because, you know, being modern doesn't mean anything. You know, I think, of course, if you can change with the times, great. But I do feel that when you're timeless, you have a touch and feel of the old world and the new world, and that's what you want. You don't want somebody who's so modern that they don't have a sense or a handle on, you know, tradition, culture, ethics, morals, whatever it was that we were taught back in the day. And at the same time, when you're timeless, you just, you know, you have the ability to adapt. I think you're a very fluid person. I want a fluid man.
Amazing.
I want a fluid man.
And tell us what sets love apart in modern times. What is the difference
What
of
sets
love
love apart?
In modern times.
Yeah.
In modern times, both people, both partners are asking to be given an equal seat at the table.
Yeah.
I think that back in the day it was, you know, whatever the man says, you do, or whatever, however flawed the relationship, you just keep going at it. And here I think, you know, you just have the ability to walk out, you know, both in a good way and a bad way. At the same time, you say, hey, listen, you know, you see today that men are also stay-at-home dads.
Correct.
You see that they're not, you know, women are also okay with that idea. Women are happy to work and do that. And I think that more importantly, women have become very independent.
Also, now you're challenged,
Yeah.
which is great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's a healthy relationship and not a toxic one, because your notions are challenged, suddenly, you know, you are doing things that you've not seen in your life before. So you discover new things, you know. Like when she spoke, when she mentioned men are okay with being in the house, taking care of the kids. I want to be that, you know. मुझे तो वही करना है. Like kids नहीं चाहिए, बिल्ली दे दो, कुछ भी दे दो. But I want to be at home. I don't want to leave my home. And I'm very happy with my partner going out. I have no cons like that.
When the term modern comes, it's always kind of denoted in a negative term कि लड़की ये modern है or people are living in the modern thought process है. As a young generation who's living life on their own terms, what do you have to say about that, the term modern and how it's denoted?
I don't know, yeah. I think all of these statements just keep passing down through and so on and so forth. I know a lot of people who are my age who feel like Gen Z is ki zyada modern hai. Wait, it is just, it's just something that our parents were too modern for our grandparents. Our grandparents were even too modern for their parents. So it's just a thing to say, as long as it's not having a negative effect on the person you're saying it to. You know, like as you were saying that people just like probably relationships are shorter nowadays and so on and so forth. Now, if you don't turn the gas off at some point, it's going to spill over from the pressure cooker.
Yeah.
But when you put it off, taken off the lid, then probably it'll settle down and taste great. So there is, it's not a problem, but it is a way of washing off a lot of ideas that a lot of people have probably assumed or taken things from sentences like, we have the liberty to leave from a relationship does not equal to you should leave from every relationship.
My mother was termed as a modern woman, ahead of her time. When she did SARS, it was ahead of its time. I am modern because I was born out of wedlock.
Timeless people.
Damn timeless. Absolutely. No, I just think, you know, to each their own, honestly. I think that it's wonderful being modern. It's also negative. It's wonderful being old school. It's also negative. I don't think there's one size fits all. I think it really matters. I think you should use your modern thinking responsibly. And I think you should be modern enough to be... To me, a modern person is someone who's accepting of everything. Yeah. And we've just gone in the opposite direction. We've become so intolerant. True. So I don't know if we're modern. We're actually going back in time, honestly speaking.
I was just about to ask you, do you think a child born out of wedlock would be accepted today? Do you think that?
See, accepted is one thing. What are people saying behind the scenes?
Yeah.
आज भी बोल ही रहे हो ना
Correct.
कि अरे she went on, she slept with somebody and just had a baby. She did this. I read so many of these posts on like Official Humans of Bombay and stuff of single moms or, you know, girls who've had a baby out of wedlock or whatever. They're still behind, like in whispers, everybody is talking about it, right? So what has changed? Nothing has changed.
Absolutely.
Do I have the guts to have a baby out of wedlock myself? Really, no chance. And I'm saying this, I'm a modern woman, I don't have it because I don't have, I don't want to take on that extra pressure. I have enough.
For that child.
Yeah, for that child, exactly. Yeah.
And one thing that hasn't changed is our idea of romance when it comes to films. That's how we've all grown up. Tell us which love story, which romance have you kind of idolized while growing up?
Yeah, I'm the last person you should ask this. Everybody's gonna comment on your YouTube section because they know what I'm going to say. Okay. Every SRK movie ever. SRK movie ever. I have grown up thinking love is larger than life. One day I will experience it. Still waiting for that day. But
8 years.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of the way, for the lack of a better word, Bollywood presented love in their stories since the 70s, 80s, 90s, all of them. I'm a huge fan of it. And yeah, so for me, love like ghosts is something I believe in. but I haven't been scared yet.
Nice one.
Yeah.
One that really stayed with me, and I was really young, I think it had released in 2001, 2003, Dil Chahta Hai, was Akshay Khanna's story with Dimple
Oh my
Kapadia.
God, yes.
Because it was the first time I saw something like that. I had no idea
Right.
aisa kuch hai.
And pure.
And pure,
pure.
sophisticated,
Yeah.
graceful, you know, and that idea of letting go also, you know.
Yeah.
That really stayed with me. Monsoon Wedding's story of Vijay Raj and Tilotma Ashram really stayed with me.
Yes.
And for some reason, I really liked Jab Tak Hai Jaan.
Yeah.
I went ahead with it, you know. I was like, chalo, let's go with it.
I think, I don't know why I've always loved Zubeda. I don't know what it was. That film just doesn't leave me. The fact that, you know, Karishma's character, Zubeda, was basically this young girl who was about to become a princess, and then she went into this fairy tale romance thinking that, you know, it's going to be the sun and moon and the stars, and then she just was so disillusioned by everything, untimely death. I found it really, really heartbreaking. Her relationship with Rekha. And just, you know, seeing that, oh, this is allowed. He's allowed to have multiple wives, and you know, that whole sort of whatever she went through, the turmoil of just wanting to own and have a piece of Manoj Bajpayee's character. I think that was beautiful.
But Masaba, tell me, what do you have to say about finding love again? I mean, does that become difficult, or is it easy? What is it about?
You know, you just have to go into everything with a little bit of vulnerability. Yeah. And you know, I really believe that if you show yourself, it allows the other person to show themselves. And I think that what's happened with a lot of people today is that I'll play this game, then that person will play that game, and then, you know, I'll hold back a bit. I am just one person. I'm just myself. And if I want to talk to someone, I talk to someone. If I want to be vulnerable, I'm vulnerable. If I want to hold back, I'm hold back. But I'm honest in whatever I do.
Since we've spoken about modern love, what traditional love quality or one traditional love fact or myth that you kind of have grown up or you like fantasize about?
In today's day and age, just spending time without looking at your phones.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I feel like that is a huge
Yeah.
here. You and I, same space, and
Yeah.
not just your space,
Not
my
just,
space.
yeah.
That's
Or
a huge
distracted.
sharing.
You're
Yeah.
not distracted.
Yeah.
Just to give that person your all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had heard somewhere Javed Saab say that he was upset with Shabana ma'am at some point, and he wrote her a letter with flowers that said, आज फिर उस मोड़ पे तुम्हें मुझे देख के तन्हा बहुत उदास हुए फूल बेचने वाले, because she really loves flowers. I was like, oh my god.
Guys, Rithvik is a hardcore
Hi.
romantic.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't know it yet. He's getting there slowly.
I'm
slowly.
very mushy.
On interview number 5, he's opened up finally about his.
Modern love, traditional love.